Namaste, this is François Gauthier. Of course, today I would like to talk about the drone attack on the Saudi Arabia oil installations of Aramco, which has tremendous repercussions for the world and for India. From a military point of view, this used to be science fiction. We saw a film recently, a very stupid film called The President Has Fallen, where the President of the United States is attacked with drones, and one thought this was not possible, but it has to be proved that it can be possible. Now, of course, Pakistan and Afghanistan and the Taliban and the ISIS know that drones are capable of delivering small nuclear warheads which can wipe out an entire city. And Pakistan, which knows that it cannot win a conventional war with India, it lost the last 4 ones if you include Kargil, will think about that, how to use drones in Kashmir, on Delhi, on northern India. So it's a very worrying thing, and it's very difficult to stop a drone. I mean, you can stop a missile, you have anti-missile, but how do you stop a small drone that that can fly very low and escape radars? So it's very worrying from that point of view. The second aspect, of course, is oil. Already oil is very expensive in India. I mean, the price of oil is very expensive, considering that Indians do not earn as much as Westerners. If you see in France, for instance, an average person earns at least 1 lakh a month, or 2-3 lakhs. So the price of petrol is affordable. But for people who earn 30, 40, 50,000 rupees, to pay 70, 75 rupees a liter of petrol is disproportionate. And flying also is as expensive in India as it is in the West. It's on par. Though again, Indians don't have the same winning power, the money power that they have in the West. We've seen that good airlines like Jet Airways went bankrupt because of the price of petrol, and Air India is also on the brink of bankruptcy. So it's worrying for India. That leads me to the Indian economy. Now, Mr. Modi's 5 years were a great success on many, many levels, and the beginning of his second mandate is again great success already. The fight against plastic, the removal of Article 370, which was something so unjust and that needed to be done away with. This is a great start, but the economy is not doing well. The Indian economy has gone below 6%, below 5% even, and this is very worrying. So the attack on Aramco might have also serious consequences for India. Now, I feel, I'm not an economist, but I do feel that Mr. Modi has erred a little bit in economic terms. He has kept a lot of the Nehruvian system, of the Nehruvian socialist system. For instance, very high import taxes. If you want to import anything on India, whether it's chocolate or wine or coffee or anything, except a few items which are deemed indispensable, you pay 100%, 200% tax. Now, this was done by Mr. Nehru supposedly to foster, local industries, to help Indians to develop, their own products, to be competitive on the world market. But it has never happened. On the contrary, Indians who once upon a time were the greatest inventors, from the chess to zero to, the distance from here to the moon, the Indians knew it all. There is no boasting here. The Indians knew it all. The Indians did it all. Today they become the greatest copiers, from Bollywood to computers to everything. Look at Chinese. They have developed a world-class series of computers, Lenovo, world-class phones, that are competing on the market, on the whole planet. Has India developed any laptop worth the name, any phone worth the name, any car, except maybe the Tatas, but even that didn't last, that the adventure of Tata with the cheapest car, has gone off, it's not there anymore. So I think Mr. Modi should liberalize the economy much more. He should not tax people too much. He has created laws against NGOs, for instance, which is good because they're targeting the Christian missionaries who receive billions of dollars to convert poor people. That is good. But he doesn't understand that his lower bureaucracy, middle and lower bureaucracy, are using them against everybody. Even if you're a lawful, small NGOs doing good work, you are subject to so much harassment nowadays. We have an NGO. I'm building a museum in Pune with my wife, and there is so much harassment. We are suspected all the time. And now he's made a new law. I saw this morning that the Home Ministry has made a new law, that you have to declare whether you have not engaged in any conversion. I mean, very few people in India engage in conversion. I am anti-conversion. But again, I'm going to be, harassed by my chartered accountant, by the local officials, and this is totally unjust. Also, it is more difficult to do banking in India now. I find that banking today, we are banking with HDFC, which is a private bank, it's terrible, they make your life miserable because using Mr. Modi's, new rules, against black money, against, for demonetization, they're making our life very miserable. Visas are very difficult to obtain. I know that for Indians it's difficult to have a visa from the US or UK or Canada or even France. But look, millions of India did go to UK and US and settled there and got passports or got green cards. Now for a Westerner in India, I have many friends who have problems. Good people. Their visas are not renewed or they are even thrown back to their countries. So visas have become more difficult. Banking has become more difficult. There is so much tax on imports. So Mr. Modi really has to make an effort there. He has to liberalize, forget about, protecting Indian industries because they're just gone to sleep. They're just copying and there is no creativity, there is no research in India. We see even in terms of food, the food that we get in France now, it's so easy. I mean, India has got the same climate. There are many parts of India that has got the same climate that can grow, salad and olives and apples and everything, but they are not because there is no consciousness, there is no thirst for perfection. So that creativity has to come back, but it will not come back by making new taxes or taxing imports. It will come back with a change of mind, a change of mentality, and this is what Mr. Modi needs to do, and this is what we all need to strive towards. And I'm doing my part, by doing that video. Namaste.